Our favorite couples are in Cabo. We've got a bus breakdown and a whole lot of showdowns. This is the Married to Medicine After Show.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, the buzz.
What's up, everybody? Hi. Hello.
Do we look familiar?
Hello, everybody. If you are watching or listening, then you know this is the Married to Medicine After Show. You probably see all these hosts and you're like, I thought this was Love After Lockup. No. We have gone on to another reality show where this is the Married to Medicine After Show. We're talking Busted Cabo, Season 7, Episode 11. I'm your host, Alexis Brown, and I have my favorite ladies. I have Miss Brianna Cheyenne.
Hi, guys.
And we have Kittie joining us today. Hello, Miss Kittie. Kaboom.
Hello, my love. Great to be here.
Yes.
Grateful to be here.
We are so excited. This was a really good episode, right? It was a lot happening, but of course that usually happens when we go on trips. We're going to talk about Buffy versus Jackie. We're going to talk about this crazy bus breakdown. Heavenly has some real issues with Daddy getting his drink on, and some more contestant Scott drama, because that's what we're getting this season is contestant Scott drama. Plus we got some tweets, some news and gossip, and just a whole lot of other fun stuff. But before we get into the nitty gritty, let me know what y'all thought of the episode, starting with you, Bree.
I thought the episode was great. Like you said, we can always look forward to amazing craziness on the trips. So I'm really happy to see how Quad is taking being by herself. She's being a really good sport about it all.
I know, and I appreciate that about her. Remember when it first came out, I'm like, where's her husband? Everybody's like, she doesn't have one. Kitty, remember? So my bad that I dropped that ball. But yeah, I think that she's dealing quite well with it. And who cares? Like, at the end of the day, if you're okay with yourself, you're going to have fun regardless of the situation or who's there or who's not there. And sometimes husbands just get on your goddamn nerves anyway. Like, it's good to be able to be like, you know what, I'm just going to rock out and do me without anybody standing over me trying to micromanage my life.
Yes. Yeah, she's definitely been really unproblematic so far. I'm sure we have a lot more to go, but I don't see her doing anything crazy.
Right, let's hope.
She's just there by herself. What could she really be arguing about? So, I don't know. But let's keep talking about Quad. So in the beginning, and this is not a big part of it, but I just want to address it. We noticed that they put Quad way further away, her hotel room, way further away from the rest of the couples. And Quad kind of jokingly was just like, oh, they did that to keep me away from the husbands. But then Simone was like, well, I put her over so she can, spend time with the most important person to her, and that's herself. And then when she said that, I was like, oh, that's shade. So with that being said, because she made that shady comment, do you think that she purposely put Quad further away, and why do you think she did that?
I think it was so she could focus on the most important person, which is herself. Okay. And that is the most important person. It's not like she has a man. It's not like she has kids to worry about. So I think also a purpose why they brought... Why are you looking at... I think another reason they brought Quad on this trip instead of excluding her was because they wanted her to have some time to reflect on herself and being single and being comfortable with being single. And I think the perfect way of doing that is being by yourself.
But all the way on the other side of their little area.
I mean, maybe it was a way so she didn't get distracted.
By whom? By
the sex noises. Who
knows? Goodness.
Arguments. Who knows? I don't know. I didn't think it was shady.
What do you think, Kittie?
I thought it was shady off the break. And even the way that she delivered it when she said it in the, confessional? I would say testimonial. That was kind of shady too. She was like, what? What'd I do? It was total passive aggressive. But the way that you're breaking it down right now, that's a great perspective. I had not thought about it like that. But had she said it like that or given her the heads up, like, just so you know, girl, I don't put you way up at the top, but it's only because I want you to be able to enjoy you, like no distractions, no, if she would have hyped that, then I thought that would have been cute. But just to do it and be like, what did I do?
Yeah, it could have not been a shady thing, but at the same time, I feel like you can have time to yourself and still not have to walk so much further away from the rest of the, party to kind of be by yourself. It's already awkward that I'm here by myself, and now I gotta take a bunch more steps to get to where I'm going than you guys do, but...
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah, but I guess her Quad is just like, I'm just happy to be here.
Right.
Free trip, good food, free drinks.
Good for her. Good for her.
No complaining.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize until we got into the trip that this is also Simone and Cecil's 25th wedding anniversary, which I thought is great. I think it's beautiful that they're celebrating that, especially because they were going to get divorced not too long ago. So to see them doing so well and planning this couples trip and celebrating their anniversary, I thought was a beautiful thing. Another thing I thought was beautiful was that Jackie and Curtis really gave them a good speech about how, their issues and what they were going through kind of helped them fix their own marriage. And they also had a really sweet video from their kids saying, happy anniversary and all that jazz. Did it give you the fuzzies or was it just me?
No, I loved it. I love the fact that everybody was celebrating that, especially just as you said, not too long ago, they were on a completely different path.
Yeah.
So for them to decide we are literally going to do the work that it takes to stay together and then to celebrate that, it's a beautiful thing. I don't know too many people that have that many years in of marriage. And then black folks, we quick to be like, y'all, I don't like
that.
You. That's been my experience. Just from
Black
my
folks
experience.
are quick to do what?
Yeah, I'm cool. You doing too much.
But
Bye.
think about all our grandparents who've been together forever and have a million kids.
My grandparents haven't been together. My parents aren't together. My friends aren't family. No.
Yeah, I guess it just depends. I think where you live makes a big thing, too, because I'm from the South. And, in the South, you get married and you have a bunch of babies and you stay married.
Yeah.
And y'all all live 15 deep in y'all little itty bitty house.
Happy and in love.
Yeah, happy
no
and
complaining.
in love. Yes. For you all, would you have spent your 25th anniversary on a couples trip like this? Because I got to be honest, it seemed like everybody was just complaining the entire trip. And I would have been like, yo, this is my anniversary. I don't have to deal with these folks. But would y'all have done that? Would y'all have done your own trip?
I mean, 25 years is a long time. Like, we've had 25 years worth of trips by ourselves. So why not allow other people to embrace the love that we share with each other if we can teach you guys a couple lessons too?
That's a good perspective.
I don't mind, especially if they're close people to us and they've been along the journey with us throughout the 25 years.
Good point.
I love the fact that I have a thought in my head and then Brianna opens her mouth and I'm like,
Because she just came from such a selfless, like, give back type of place.
I'm trying this new thing.
Love and light.
Exactly. I love it because Brie will be quick to be like, check this out, shut it down. And that's the end of that. So, yes, I love that perspective, Brie. I had not thought about it like that. And I think you're absolutely right. But I don't know. I mean, I honestly can't speak from, 25 years. That's a lifetime.
Long time.
Right? So to think about what that even entails, I can't get a call back. So let alone a 25-year marriage. Like, that's a lot to think about, to wrap my brain around. I would like to think that, especially as you said, if my friends have been on the journey with me, that is just like a huge party. Yeah. And that's what it should be anyway, right? Because
celebrating.
you spend all the money on a real party, it ends in a night. Everybody's drunk. You come to one place. This is like an adventure to be able to share with people that you genuinely care about. I think that's dope.
I love it. Y'all are absolutely right. All right, before we get into the breakdown of everything with this trip, Kittie, do you have a message for our viewers?
I do. I just want to thank you guys. Thank you. We sincerely appreciate you making us the ESPN of TV talk. There's no question about it. We rule. And it's only because of you. Honestly, we love coming here. We love having the interactions. If you're listening to us, please give us a thumbs up, 5 stars, whatever goes along with that. If you're watching us, hey, we appreciate being watched and spoken to. Yeah, it's really dope that we have this conversation, this back and forth. You guys make us what we are, and we're pretty successful because we're pretty awesome. Okay? So just saying, that's a total reflection of what you give. We give it right back. So thank you.
Yes, not to toot our own horn, but beep, okay? But yes, no, seriously, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for that beautiful message. And if you're in the live chat right now, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our points. We are watching. We do see them. So thank you so much for tuning in.
For sure.
Real quick, I did just want to shout out the couple people we do have in here is Unique Beauty 9483.
Hi.
We have Miss Leekster and we have Jimmy Harper who chimed in about a couple comments ago, and he said they put her back there because Simone was upset at the birthday party book premiere that they didn't mention her now first and then thought she wasn't going to mention now. And Toya and Simone felt the same, some type of way.
Interesting. So she not over the past drama. That's why she put.
She just laying low.
Yeah. Good reason. I'm sure if you asked Simone, she'd be like, "No,
of course.
She's the queen of passive aggressive, though, right?
Yes, but
Did I do that?
Yeah, we gonna talk about it. All right. So first thing is they have this dinner. That's like their kickoff point for this beautiful trip. But of course, there's not a dinner without drama. And Buffy brought up, and which I felt in a very classy and non-argumentative way. You know, Jackie, the bringing up the infertile comment, I didn't like that. I didn't think you should have done that. It wasn't your story to tell. It brought me a lot of pain. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, as a viewer, somebody who's watched this show for seasons and seasons, and somebody who's just a fan of Jackie, I expected Jackie to be like, "Oh, I didn't mean to make you feel like that. I'm sorry. That wasn't my intentions." But instead, she kind of goes off on a tangent. She's like, you know, I didn't mean it that way. And she did apologize, but she apologized in an angry way. And to me, she could have kept the apology if she was going to apologize
because it didn't
in that way.
sound sincere at all.
Yeah, and to me, it felt like she didn't really see that what she did was wrong, because in her mind, her intention wasn't to do it in a mean and embarrassing type of way, but that's how it happened. So help me understand which side you guys are on. Do you kind of more agree with Jackie that it wasn't that big a deal, you know, my intentions weren't bad, or are you kind of with Buffy where it's like, that wasn't your place to say that?
It absolutely was not her place to say that. Buffy made an excellent point, and I'm glad she brought it up at the table, that you're an OBGYN. You know better than that.
Exactly.
And even at that point, Jackie still didn't take a moment to sit back and say, you know what, I wouldn't have done this to a patient, so I shouldn't have done it to a friend.
Right.
Very good point. I'm Team Buffy all the way. And I think that Dr. Heavenly needs to shut her southern drawl, not knowing what the hell she talking about, mouth. I think she's absolutely right. Like, why are you always defending this woman, making her out to be like this, as she said, like a Mother Teresa? Relax. This is my place. This is my feeling. This is how I feel. And I should be allowed to express that. I don't understand why Jackie didn't get that initially. And I really had a problem with, once she did get that recognition and the light bulb finally went off after having spoken to her husband, her whole thing was, this will be the last time who the hell are you to decide that you won't apologize again and that you're above reproach?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that you feel like you get this title of Mother Teresa. Honestly, no, sweetie, I'm glad that you have such a great demeanor and that you're even keel most of the time and you're the person that brings everybody together. Big ups to you for all that, but that doesn't negate the fact that you said some mean stuff in front of complete strangers. Own your
Yeah. Honestly, I agree with you. I don't think Heavenly should have butted in at all. It wasn't her place. It wasn't her argument. She felt like she needed to take it for Jackie.
She always.
Oh, well. But it did kind of make me, in her defending Jackie, kind of did make me understand why Jackie reacted in the way that she did. I don't think that Jackie acted right, but it made me understand why. Jackie felt, at least to me, you know, I'm not that type of person. You know, I wasn't doing it to be malicious. You know, I wasn't doing it with a bad heart. But it was taken that way. So yes, while that wasn't your intentions, I'm just the type of person where I could be like, you know what? I said that. I shouldn't have said that. I didn't do it to be mean, but I see that you took it that way, and I apologize for that. So do you think that kind of made it better?
It didn't make it better.
Right.
But I feel the same way. Once I saw it from that perspective, I said, okay, I kind of get why Jackie might be a little frustrated. But at the same time, we have to remember, we love to remind Buffy that she's the new girl of the group.
Right.
So that means that she's understanding everybody's shade and everybody's personalities and learning what to take seriously and what to take as a grain of salt.
Right.
And so she doesn't know Jackie like that to, one, be comfortable with her saying something like that to a bunch of strangers. And two, to know that she's the type of person that wouldn't say something like that being shady. I think that is, Jackie should have taken responsibility of recognizing that too. Yeah. And saying, you know what, I humbly apologize, because I guess we aren't as close as friends as I thought we were.
Or that we might one day be.
Right. But now she's ready to just dead their relationship altogether, basically saying, how dare you be offended by something I did wrong to you.
Right. Which
it's
is
childish.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very immature.
Yeah.
It reminds me, I promise not to go off on a tangent, but it does remind remind me of a personal situation that happened recently. One of my coworkers, who is a white woman, decided that she wanted to use the N-word. And since she didn't say it maliciously, she was saying it in jest. She thought that she was one of us. It was the neck going and the hands and the whole shebang, that when we checked her on it, or I'm sorry, when I checked her, she was super like, well, I didn't say it mean though. I didn't say it like in that way. I said it like in a rap song, just talking.
Right.
Yeah, that still doesn't make it okay.
Yeah.
I don't really think they get it. I'm sure she does now. But I hope Jackie is able to see that as well.
Heavenly kind of made up when she was going off on her tangent about it, in her way of defending Jackie, she said, you shouldn't have brought it up in front of the whole group. You should have pulled her to the side. Do you think that mattered or not?
You agreed with her?
I mean, if you're going to do it, that should have been the way that she break it.
Okay.
Why didn't anybody check Jackie about not making the comment in the first place? If Heavenly wants to be mad at Buffy about that, she should have told her friend Jackie, Jackie, you should have brought Buffy to the side and at least gave her a heads up, or asked her if it was okay to reference you in something so personal in a public forum with strangers.
Right,
if you're going to be mad at one person, make the even playing field.
You're right. I misunderstood. I thought you guys were suggesting, I thought the question was, should she have brought it to the side before she made the announcement?
Did it make a difference as far as in that moment of whether or not Jackie... Okay, let me rephrase my question. Do you think Jackie's response to it would have been different if Buffy pulled her to the side to tell her that bothered her versus her doing it in front of the group? Because Heavenly made it seem like Jackie was more upset about it because she was being put on the spot.
Okay.
Possibly, but then it goes back to what you said. You're absolutely right. The same holds true for her. If you can call me out, and this is in strangers, you've just told them that I'm not able to have children. How dare you, as a woman and as a OBGYN, think that was okay? Only for me to spare your feelings and to be diplomatic and classy and pull you to the side. That thing that you said in front of everybody, I'm just going to say to you, please don't do that again. That hurt my feelings and that wasn't cool. Why should I do the extras for you that you weren't willing or even able to recognize that you didn't do for me? I don't think so.
Public disrespect deserves public remorse. So she should have gotten a very meaningful apology.
Yeah.
I agree.
And you think that's why she brought up the table, because she wanted her to apologize and stand in front of everyone?
Absolutely.
Interesting. Okay. You kind of brought it up, but I want to talk about it some more. Do you think that, and I know we said Heavenly shouldn't have got into it, but I personally agree with you where it was like, okay, obviously everybody felt like Jackie was wrong. Why is nobody going up to Jackie and telling her, hey, that kind of wasn't the right thing to do?
Right.
Like, do you think that they should have, and why, I guess, yeah.
I think it's because Jackie's an OG, and that's just a certain level of respect they have for her because she's been a day one, and she is, not to call her old, but she is older than the other ladies. And I feel like that is the Southern thing where you have older people up on a pedestal, and to try to check her on her behavior is just something that they just wouldn't look at as, I guess, appropriate.
Yeah.
Good point.
I agree. I like 1,000%. I agree with everything you said.
But do you think that if it was somebody else who brought it up, that Jackie wouldn't have got as upset in her response? Like, if Simone was like, yo, girl, like, that wasn't cool, do you think she still would have been as defensive, or would she have been like, oh, I didn't mean it like that?
I think she would have still been defensive because she was so out of the loop of how it even affected anybody. She thought she was doing a good thing. She stands for truth, and she's a champion of women and blah, 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 blah. So with all that being said, if somebody pushes back and has an issue with how she's deciding to express those views, then I think she would have been it probably would have been a little bit different. She would have been like, what do you even I think she would have feigned innocence, and it would have been genuine innocence because clearly she didn't get it. But I didn't get the impression that she would have been any different in a public setting or in private.
I agree.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. So let's talk about the bus breakdown. So the bus broke down when they were getting ready to go to an activity. And it broke down in 103-degree weather.
I can't even fathom.
I don't even, it gets hot here.
Right, but baby,
to be stuck on a bus in Mexico in 103-degree weather, I'm sure wasn't fun. not a fun situation to be in, but do you think Toya, who didn't want to walk back, who said she was embarrassed, who felt like it was unsafe to walk beside of a highway in Mexico, do you think that she was overreacting?
Yeah.
Or do you think that she was in her rights to be upset?
I'm over Toya. All she does is complain. I need 5 stars. How dare you? I'm embarrassed to who? Who sees you? What are you talking about? And shame on her. She made the bus breakdown, did she? Really? She controlled that? That's something that she's responsible for?
She was already complaining about the bus. The bus was too small. And so it's probably like, oh, well, maybe we were in this small, tiny bus. Maybe the bus wouldn't have broke down. Do you think that's fair?
No.
I think the bus just broke down because of the heat.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. And then on top of that, you have it packed up with a lot of people. But it's just that I feel like I don't understand why Toya is acting like she came from riches and why she's acting like she was born with the... Like, I'm sure there was a time in her life when Toya was on the bus.
Talk about
on
it.
A train.
On a real bus.
Yeah. So... Toya needs to be grateful that she's even able to be on a trip like this, that she's not paying for on top of that with her husband. And that's all I can, like, I just don't understand. I get the frustration.
Right.
Because it's hot and you're uncomfortable and you're hungry and you've been drinking. But girl, this is not your time. This is not the first time you walk on the side of the road.
Yeah. I don't want to say praise, but kudos to Simone and Cecil because I couldn't do all the complaining that they were getting on a free trip.
Right.
And then I'm glad that somebody kind of pulled Simone to the side and was like, look, this is in no way your fault.
Toya's husband did it. Because he knows his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, don't, because he kept rolling his eyes when they were sitting there talking to the camera, and she was complaining then. Like, you really don't see that you're just super ungrateful right now? Just live in the moment. We get it. It's a bit frustrating. It's a bit uncomfortable. But baby, this ain't hardly the worst thing you ever been through, and this ain't about to last but for 5 minutes. You about to be in the pool. You're fine. Really.
And what's crazy is, you know, Toya was the one who planned the couples trip last year, and she was very on edge and very defensive anytime anybody said anything about the stuff that she planned. And I feel like if that same situation happened on one of her trips, and if somebody would complain, she would have gotten very upset.
You know, my mama always
what's embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. That's embarrassing. My mama always says the things that we hate the most in others are usually, not always, but usually the things we hate the most in ourselves. That is what it boils down to every time.
So
because you recognize it only when someone else does it, and it fires you up. And you're not, unfortunately, a lot of times we're not cognizant of what that is, but that's exactly what it is. It's a hypocritical situation. It's so much easier to point the finger and be like, why are you complaining? Why are you not grateful?
But 3 point right back at you.
Every time.
Yes. All right, so because the bus broke down and they had to go back home, they just ended up drinking and hanging out by the pool. And Damon was just imbibing in all of the libations that was around him. He was just trying to have a good time.
Right.
And Heavenly was like, yo, Damon, you need to chill out with all them shots. And Damon was like, look, I'm just trying to have fun.
Yes.
Now, I see it from both sides, and I want to know what you think. Do you think that Heavenly, who knows her husband, was right in being like, look, you better chill out? Or was she being too much because Damon just wanted to have fun?
I think Heavenly was in the right. That, like you said, that is her husband. She knows her husband. I go on a trip with you. I know you have a very low tolerance for alcohol. And I see you taking shots and shots and shots. You're a lightweight. Who's going to be up with you, throwing up, holding you over the toilet, have to bring you food?
Gotta hold your hair.
I can't enjoy my trip because I have to babysit you. And that's the problem with men. Let me say this. That's a problem with men. They like to allow their environment and their friends and what's going on to influence their behavior.
Every time.
And then the moment things start to go downhill, who's the first person they turn to?
Wifey.
Their woman.
Their woman every time.
Their woman to hold them down, because while they're there throwing up, remorseful that they drank that much, their friends are out having a good time. So, and you hear suffering.
Right. So who you gonna call? Who always do you call? The person that has your back. I'm gonna say irregardless, Father God, regardless of what the situation is. Right. We're always the backbone. And I think you're absolutely right. But I see it from both sides as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like she should give him a little bit of a break. Maybe pull him aside, or not again, with all this they just say anything to each other in front of all these people. Just because you're friends does not mean that you have carte blanche to say anything to me in front of them.
What did she say that was embarrassing?
She's sitting on the other side of the room telling something, sir, you just gonna keep on drinking. Baby,
Me either.
Baby, put them drinks down.
I don't see anything wrong with the way she did it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It seemed a bit much.
I mean, they're all friends.
At this point, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's fine. The delivery could be appreciated, but I did think that a little bit of her should have probably been like, "Babe, do you really think this is the best route to take?"
Yeah.
But clearly,
But
that's
Heavenly's not that type of
I was about to
woman.
say they don't communicate like that though, right? What'd she say, baby? You okay?
Yeah.
He said, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that's how they get down.
I totally get it because, like you said, now I'm gonna have to be the one to clean up after you and take care of you. I think honestly, the middle ground should have been, I'm gonna keep drinking, but when I get sick, you don't have to take care of me because you told me not to drink, and I decided to do it anyway. So that's gonna be what our retribution is. I'm gonna get to have my drinks, but you're not gonna have to take care of me.
Yeah, I think that'd be an excellent middle ground.
Yeah, but I'm not a wife, so I don't know if a wife sees a husband, it's like, I can't just not take care of him.
I was literally just about to say, would I be okay if my boyfriend said, don't take care of me? He knows I'm going to.
Yeah.
Even if I say I'm gonna say, oh yeah, all right, and then as soon as I see him hurting, I'm gonna step in.
You're so sweet. I have him right in that corner, like I told you not to do it. Now you look foolish. Stay over there.
Y'all are
tragic.
First of all, the fact that y'all are switching roles, I cannot.
I know.
Yes, I'm dead. Like, this is not what y'all do. This is usually the black heart over here.
know.
So check this out. You did it to yourself.
No, but if I tell you don't do something and you do it, you're just gonna have to tough love. You're gonna have to learn. You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn to listen. Oh my gosh! All right. So in an attempt to get past the fact that they couldn't do their activities, Simone thinks, this is the perfect time to play Mexican message.
Right.
First of all, that name is problematic, but we're not gonna talk about it.
Right. Why would you say that?
And I was with Sky and Contessa when it's like, dang, we can't even just hang out and have fun. We have to turn this into a moment where we ask difficult questions and where we talk about things we don't want to talk about. Right. But that's exactly what it became.
Because that's what she does.
Yes. So the first question I actually want to discuss, because it actually brought some thought to me. The question was basically, could you get over your spouse or anybody you're dating cheating if you have the opportunity to cheat too? What do you guys, which way are you leaning on that?
Well, from experience, I know that it does not make anything better at all.
It really does.
It just builds more animosity between the both of you. And I like being able to throw things in your face. So if you can throw something back at me, it's just not going to work.
It breaks my heart, honestly, because all this does is like send me back into time when that happened way too often, and it's not okay. First of all, I had the desire to cheat back because it does feel in the moment like, oh, that's what we're doing? Okay, that's fine. Don't be in your feelings when it happened to you, and I'll get you back and I'll hurt you like you hurt me. But it never ends up like that. Like, even I wasn't able to go through with it because I just didn't. I knew. No, it wasn't even it wasn't even no punk stuff. Like, I didn't have a problem getting it in because I wanted it. But at the end of the day, I just didn't see the purpose of giving this new person a leg up. That was my whole thing. Like, the other person knew my man. It was messy. I didn't want it to be all messy like that. But that's just me. And I felt like retribution. I mean, this is not reciprocity. You know what I mean? Both of us are going to be looking stupid, and we're probably going to look at each other and be like, I guess that's the end then, huh? Because what's the point of staying together at this point?
Yeah.
If you're doing you and I'm doing me, what are we doing again? Sharing rent?
Could you do that?
I don't know. See, I really am battling with it. I think it depends on the relationship we already had. If we were already on the rocks, then maybe it's just time to call it quits. Or on the flip side, maybe something, you can't really ever blame the other person if they cheat on you. It's like it's never your fault. But maybe we were really at a place where we were just like not messing with each other. We were together, but maybe something happened that led to that point. I don't know, though. I really honestly think it depends. There's so many factors, right? And then it's also, on the flip side, it's like, is that really a good relationship to be in where I feel like I have to one-up you to get over something? And is doing it really even going to help me get over it? It never does. Make me more upset? But okay, so what if it's a different situation where somebody cheated, but the person had already cheated on them before, can you be okay with it? Because it's like, well,
Wait, what do you mean?
Okay, so let's say I cheated, but my man stays with me.
Okay.
And then he cheats. Am I in my rights if I'm like, well, I did cheat, so we're even now?
No.
Okay.
If he decided to stay with you after you did him wrong, and then 2 years later he's like, okay, now I get a free pass to cheat. First of all, you should have just broke up with me and did your own thing.
True.
Because it's something that you were sitting on. You were holding on to that anger. It's something deep down that you wanted to do, and you were waiting for the opportunity, and you found it, and then you grabbed it. Once you decided to stay with me, you wanted to wipe the slate clean. We're not going to go back and leave crumbs and spots on the plate. If it's clean, it's clean.
Right.
And I don't want to hear anything else about it.
Exactly.
That means you're not about to be slipping and sliding and diving into no kitty cat just because I did 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, what if it was the flip side? What if, he cheated and you stayed with him and then you cheat? Would you expect him to stay with you because you stayed with him?
Yes.
You would?
I'm a hypocrite.
Thank you. The real Bree has emerged. Thank you. I'm like, come on, girl. We both know. I love it. I personally would. I just wouldn't. I just would leave. I'd like to think I would leave. I mean, I don't know. As I said, I've been in that predicament before, and the cheating was so blatant and so disrespectful that I had in my brain, it was just like, well, does he think I'm not? Because clearly I'm not enough for him. So for women, I don't know about men, but for us, or for me, I'll speak for myself, I think it deals with our esteem. Like it really hits below the belt, because it's like, well, am I not doing, what is she doing or having that I'm not going to get? So let me go get another man to value me and like confirm, you still got it, boo.
But you know what's funny? I had my ex actually admit to me why he cheated. And he told me, basically, he said, you were everything that I wanted at that moment. Like, I knew you were like wife, perfect girlfriend, everything I needed. But I needed to step out and see what else was out there just to make sure you had everything.
Boo!
That's what he said. And you know what's so wild though? I've talked to other people about that, and they've said like that's a common thing with men.
Yeah, but that don't make it okay.
It's not okay, but it's just sick how common it is that they have to go out to validate that. Oh yeah, you are everything I need.
Do you know why? Because men decide that this is the time in my life I need to be married. I've sold my royal oats. I've done this. I've done that. I've whatever.
Not for our age though.
No, I'm just saying men in general. Whatever men, right? For men, their mindset is, this is it. This is the time in my life where I'm ready to find a wife. So let me get serious either about the girlfriend I have, or let me go find wifey material. We find a guy, and we don't care if we 16 or 62. At that time in my life is not as relevant as this person. This is my person. This is my guy. Like, I can tell that we're supposed to be doing this forever thing. Whereas guys are just like, this is the time. All right, I'm spent with this situation. Today. Right. I probably let about 5 get away. Good ones. But I'll find another one because now I'm ready. Yes. You know what I mean? It's just a different mentality altogether.
Yes.
Which is sad.
It is. So another question that they asked was, do you need your spouse's permission to change careers? And when they asked the question, Contessa never crossed my mind, but then
Really?
in that moment, it didn't. Until Heavenly was like, yeah, because Contessa, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, so basically every question was after one of the couples. Yeah, Jackie's, and then now this one was Contessa's. But even in Heavenly bringing it up, it turned into a Contessa and Scott argument. And Contessa basically just came out and said that she felt like Scott didn't support her in her decision. Now, we've been watching it. It's been a big thing this entire season. Do you agree with her that he wasn't supportive in that situation? And do you think her points that she made up then were valid about that?
I wouldn't say he wasn't supportive. I think he reacted the same typical way any man would react when there's a sudden shift in the household. I feel like I said this last week, but if Contessa decided to just up and quit her job and go to school, of course he's going to react a certain way. But I think he would have pulled it together eventually.
Yeah.
I definitely think he would have, because he wouldn't have a choice in it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? She's physically not there to pick up the pieces or clean up behind you or, make a beautiful thing out of your mess. So you would have had to cope. That's how any human being deals with it. You're placed in a situation that's new to you. It's uncomfortable. You don't want to deal with it. You feel inept. And then after time, you get acclimated. You understand it better. You get into a routine. It's just human nature. And these men just crying and whining like little girls about, not even girls, I'm sorry, that's not a good comparison, about little boys. Like little boys, about things that they can definitely take care of on their own eventually. Yeah. Like, just give it a minute, bruh. You'll be fine.
Do you think that was the right place? I know the question was fitting for them, but do you think that was the right place for them to have that conversation?
I mean, that's what they keep doing, so clearly this is the right place.
Yeah.
Like, there's no private conversations with this group. Yeah. So I've come to expect it.
It could have just been handled differently. It didn't have to be as dramatic as it was.
Yeah.
I think they should have saved that for their therapy sessions.
Yeah, good point. All right, so that wraps up our episode. Let's get into our tweets. What are people tweeting about the show?
Okay, first of all, let me just say I had a hard time finding tweets.
Really?
These hashtags, I don't know what was going on with the hashtag, but a lot of these tweets had to do with Jackie and Buffy situation. So at Why Wouldn't She 79 said, Dr. Jackie was dead wrong for putting Buffy's personal business in the streets. There's no excuse for it. She ought to be mad at herself for telling it. Why should Buffy call her to the side when she wasn't given the same consideration? Hypocritical behavior.
Totally what we said.
Yep. So then our next tweet, we have at Maxwell724. I get so sick of people saying that's not how she meant it, or that's not how not how her heart is. Who gives a F? At the end of the day, you hurt someone's feelings, own up to it, and apologize. That's what grown-ups do.
Totally I concur, agree. Maxwell. It's not about her heart or she didn't mean. You know what else people give a lot of passes? Oh, that's just how she is.
Yeah.
No, that's not acceptable. How she is rubbing me the wrong way. So get it together.
The next
what was that?
The next tweet we have here is Miss Phaedra. At I am Lonnie Lioness says, Mariah been trying to tell y'all how nasty Jackie is. This ain't no new girl. It's same mean, cold, shady Jackie.
Ooh. I'm not gonna lie, that may be true, but this is the first time I'm seeing it. Right. And I think just from how all the couples were taken aback and how we were all genuinely taken aback, I don't know if we can say this ain't new, because even if it ain't new, we never know.
Yeah, we've never seen it before.
Yeah.
Might not be new in life, but it's new to us.
New to us, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Then we have at Vanita_Lockhart. I wonder how Jackie would feel if another castmate wrote a book on infidelity and called Curtis out. You cheated and took another woman to a hotel, right, Curtis? That superior passive-aggressive behavior is hella annoying.
How do y'all feel about that tweet? I feel like that's kind of a reach.
I don't think it's a reach. I think it's a great
comparison. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. That seems like it's on a different level to me.
Why?
It's the same kind of subject matter.
I don't know, because I guess. I don't know.
Jackie's husband cheated, right? So they're using an example that's close to her heart. That's applicable
that just seems like that's such a bigger deal than what Jackie said. But I guess putting out somebody's infidelity is a bad thing. But I don't think it was anything that was not defending Jackie in any way. But I don't know if that, to me anyway, is at the same level of pain.
Maybe not, but it's still wrong.
It is wrong. Yeah. It's all wrong.
It's still some type of embarrassment.
Like they're pretty. They're not neck and neck, but they're both up there.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I think that was all the tweets we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's get into news and gossip.
Yeah.
Boom.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So we have UrbanBelle.com, and basically they're wondering if Mariah and Quad made up at the reunion. They just shot the reunion. I think it was 3 nights ago.
Oh, okay.
And so if we go on the second page of this website, because the first page is just the cover, the second page will give a little bit more detail about a little bit of the drama. Toya actually posted a selfie with Dr. Simone, And underneath it, she said, "Me and my big sis, thanks for always being you, stay true." And then she said, hashtag no flip flop. So we're just trying to figure out who she was throwing shade to at that moment.
Interesting.
We also have Mariah's sister, who very blatantly threw shade at Quad in a picture she posted on Instagram saying hashtag true lies, stay woke, myth of the cave. I don't know what that means. And then she said, watch and see, do not believe the shadows on the wall. Hashtag Quad is a shadow, not real. Now, this is kind of confusing because even though this is Mariah's sister shading Quad, there's a picture on the Married to Medicine Bravo Instagram page that has the group photo post the reunion. And Quad and Mariah are standing right next to each other, looking very chummy, smiling. You can see the body language is very welcoming. Quad is kind of turned a little bit towards Mariah in the photo. If you can't tell, Mariah is in the pink gown. So hopefully the reunion sparked some type of good vibes. So we'll see what happens.
Lake, okay, that's Mariah's sister. You need to let it go, sis.
Yeah, Lake. Sorry.
Like, at this point, I feel like she's just doing that to stay relevant at this point. But you're not a part of the show, dear. Like, let it go. Did you even get on the reunion stage? Like, girl, bye. Anyway.
I think she did because, she looked dressed and she put hashtag New York. So it seemed like she was there.
Maybe it's something that happens later on in the season that we haven't seen yet, why she's there and why she's still doing all this talking. But if it's still stuff from the last reunion, like, girl, get over it. Wow, okay. All right, let's get into our predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, I predict Contessa's going to keep on drawing out this whole messed up marriage storyline with Scott to the very end.
Yeah.
I think it's going to lead to nothing. I do want to see Jackie I want to see Jackie and Buffy have a one-on-one about the whole situation versus everybody, because everyone's always in each other's ears and influencing their thoughts and opinions. So I look forward to seeing what happens throughout the season.
It's a good one.
I think that's a great one. And I like Buffy as an addition to the show. I think she brings a great deal of intelligence and class with still being able to flip it, as she said, and just get shut your goddamn mouth. Like, I appreciate that too. So I like Buffy a lot, and I agree. I hope that they have a come to Jesus meeting together alone, because they deserve that. Both of them deserve the respect of being like, listen, I hear you, I receive what you're saying, I'm present, and I'm open to it. That's just the right thing to do. Be a grown up.
Yeah. I like that prediction. I hope that they do have a one-on-one. We saw in the preview for next week they're going to have this reciprocity for the whole paint and sip thing, which I don't think is fair, but we can talk about it next week. So I think we're just going to see the wives completely flip out, which is crazy since they acted like the last thing wasn't such a big deal. So I'm predicting that. I'm predicting more issues with Scott and Contessa, unfortunately. I thought they were doing well, though. And just a lot of drama, as usual, for Married to Medicine. So we have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up. Let the world know where they can find you, Lee.
Follow me, slide in my DMs. I am at what happening? At IamB_Cheyenne CHIANNE.
She ruffled her own feathers with slide in my DM. Follow me as well, please. My name is Kittie Kaboom, KITTIE, last name KABOOM on IG.
Yes, and you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Lexi Fierce. That's IAMLEXIFIERCE. And until we meet again, love you guys later.
Deuces. Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.